Aren't you a pretty baby? So, Cara had 2 babies last Tuesday. The little one, just outside the door, is a little girl. We're going to name her Merlin's Cara Mia. Probably end up going with Mia for short. Gotta keep an eye on them because this isn't the baby-proof pen. She's got no fear. And then this little one is a little boy, unfortunately, because isn't he pretty? And this is going to be Merlin's Galahad. But so pretty. They're both doing really well, and they're built so nicely. Beautiful babies. Unfortunately, Miss Cara had a little bit of a rough delivery. We had pre-labor for almost 8 hours. We went in twice with a glove to check and see if the cervix was dilated, and finally it did. But then we found out that Mr. Galahad had his head stuck with barely 1 foot out. So at that point we decided intervention was the way to handle it. And I went ahead and did my best to get the leg the rest of the way out. Tried to fish around for the second one. Couldn't find it. Her cervix hadn't dilated enough to get him through. Honestly, it's something I'm going to have to keep an eye on in the future. Maybe have some oxytocin on hand or something, so that we can help her with dilation. But ended up just getting him out by a leg and a head. Once his head was kind of through, and we confirmed that he was okay, which is always a concern when you have a stuck baby. We were able to get his shoulder through, hitch the other leg finally, and get him out pretty quickly. Isn't she pretty? He's actually the color I would pick for my next buck. I love that rich, dark brown with those crisp white spots. It's even better if they're polka dots. She is what's known as a tiger dapple. And her base coat is a lot like Mama. So she's got that softer red in her main body and her head. And then she does darken around her feet. But he is just beautiful. We're currently crossing fingers that once he's a little bit older and horns come in and balls drop and all that he's going to be nicely formed. But you can see he is got wide shoulders and a big wide stance. And he eats like a hippo. So, Mama doesn't know no. So both babies pretty much nurse him when they want to. I imagine she's going to get tired of that after a bit. So, Mama is right here. This is our first day out. We're doing okay. We're not doing as well as I'd like to see, but they were big damn babies, so she was very hollowed out once they came and hit the ground. We're keeping an eye on her. She's on a little bit of painkiller still, because I know that hurt. And we're keeping a double eye on her because she took another 13 hours to pass that placenta after we got baby girl out. So it's not what you want to see. Overall, we're going to be addressing her nutrition next time we breed her. Probably give her a couple years off again. Because I'm concerned why it seemed that she was maybe low on calcium. Definitely we're not having good contractions until the second baby. The minute we got first baby out, those contractions kicked in. And little Mia, there was a lot of contractions. The bag was kind of thick and Mom was getting tired, so I did go ahead and cut it and help her out a little bit there. But Mia came out kicking and hollering, and she hasn't stopped hollering since she came out. But she is worth it. She is so beautiful. This will be the 4th baby girl that Cara has given me. So even if we just don't ever get her bred, because gosh knows she's a fun goat to try to get bred, she's given me 4 little girls, and I'll always adore her for it. She's also just one of the best goats. She's one of those ones that I know people always sit there and go, Boer goats, they're so hard, they die easily. Yes, they can. And I'm not going to say that they're hands-off. They're not hands-off. But Cara has proven to me time and time again that if you pay attention, not only Can they pull through? They can make you feel better about it. She is a tough damn goat. She gonna have things knock her down? Yeah. But she's gonna keep getting back up. And no rejected babies this year. So we're currently doing things a little bit holistically, a little bit with meds. She's getting vitamin B complex a couple times a day. We're giving her some tinctures for pain and immunity support. They're through Molly's Herbals. Love that stuff. It's fantastic. Less complicated too sometimes. And she's also getting molasses water, about a gallon of that a day, just to help ensure that we're well hydrated, because she'll never turn it down, and make sure her sugar's good. And we're also giving free-form alfalfa hay and pellets. And at this time, she's pretty much getting a pound or more of Purple Vision pellets too, along with free-form normal prairie grass hay that they have year-round. So, I'll tell you this much. Mad props to my hay supplier, because she sat there, munched on the alfalfa a bit, and went right back to her prairie hay. So, that could be maybe we're having a little bit of a calcium deficiency though. So, I'll have to keep an eye on her from here on. But you can see, they're strong babies. They're doing very good. So Mama's got what you call 2x2 teats. So she's got her main set of large teats, and then she's got little teats above them. And all 4 teats on her, you can kind of barely see it, are functional. So if you see these babies squirting back and forth, they have figured out that they can keep going back and forth and get milk from any of the 4 teats. So when we're sharing, we're not arguing over 2 big teats. If there's less arguing than usual. Hi, baby. We are friendly little cusses. So I've been a little bit hands-off with them, because I didn't want to stress Cara out. She did reject one of the gremlins last time she had babies. To this day, I do not know why. So I've been trying to not muck up how the babies smell, so that Mama, who very much is into smelling them every 5 seconds it seems, doesn't think that they're not hers. There we go. Way to stand up for yourself, Cara. It's the first time I've seen her rejecting, which is good. Not rejecting baby, but telling her no, she doesn't need a nurse again. So a lot of mama goats will not be like Cara and be a pushover. They'll tell the babies when they can and can't nurse. They'll cut them off. They'll walk away. They'll prevent them from nursing. You can see Cara's a big pushover. She kind of said no for 5 seconds, and then immediately was like, oh, whatever, I'm eating. So, her udder is not as large as a lot of my Kikos, and even some of my commercial boars or crosses. But I honestly think some of that is because, 1, she's got a lovely udder, very good ligaments helping hold it up. And 2, she lets these kids nurse almost constantly when they're up and awake. So I don't think she's going to bag up at all much larger than she is right now, because those kids are constantly draining it. So apologies that this is a longer video. I guess if you're wondering why there's some white splash on the stall walls, we got flies going, so we've been treating the stall with some permethrin powder to help keep the flies down. We did treat Mama with a dewormer about 12 hours after birth. She was, by that point, having some lovely slushy poo. So we just didn't want her to have a worm issue on top of everything else. We went with a good old chemical approach too. We didn't go the holistic way that I do with a lot of my boys. Just didn't want to muck around. But we're doing good. In fact, we're doing so good I am surprised. But she's a good goat. She really is. And those are going to be fantastic babies. I guess if anybody's in the Tennessee area and wants a little boy, he's going to be registered. Miss Cara is the daughter of Rooker's Evolution and granddaughter of Lucky Dog. I know she's got a couple more nice things on that pedigree, but that's to me the 2 big ones. So this will be a grandson of Rugger's, which will be nice. We're crossing our fingers he fills out nicely and gets to be a little chunk as he grows. Gosh knows he's got a great... he is a hungry little hippo all the time. Great sense of appetite. So does his sister too, though. So, I can't remember if I said it, but we are keeping her. Considering how hard it is to get this lady pregnant sometimes. And that could be because she prefers older boys, and we didn't have one until this year. Probably keep a lot of her girls. And she's just got a lovely personality. She's such a sweet doe. And that little girl, that is heavy tiger dappling. I love how it splits in the face. She's just the prettiest little thing. If she grows up like Mama, she'll be the easiest keeper ever. Alrighty. Well, thanks for hanging with us, and this is Twins for Cara. And with this, Falcon, we're pretty much done. We don't think Miss Gemma was pregnant again, so she's going to be my next project to figure out why. But look at that little bum. He is such a little piggy. But we'll be breeding everybody in about 2 weeks. Our current lineup is we're going to do a couple girls to each of our boys, and Cara's 3 gremlins, her first 3 daughters. We're going to put 1 to each of the boys. So even baby Copper is going to get somebody. So we got our fingers crossed there. He's asking a lot of a 5-month-old to do all that, but you're not stuck. Look at the shoulders on those guys. They're gonna be just like Mama. They're big, big girls. So, all right.